Hi, I'm Gavin Haynes, and welcome to another spring review. This time of the year, we always like to sit down on a Monday and look over the ratings for the weekend and do what most punters don't do and review where we went right and where we went wrong, so we can find out if there was any errors that we'd made that in our assessment of runners, just to make sure we're on the right track, and it'll give us some horses to keep an eye on as we go deeper into the spring. Hi, it's Gavin again, and welcome to my next spring review. As Melbourne really started to heat up with the Sunday meeting following the grand final, we head to Caulfield for the Underwood Stakes Day, and it really does mark the start of the next 6 weeks as we go Turnbull at Flemington the next week, then Caulfield Guineas, Caulfield Cup, Cox Plate, and then into VRC Cup week. Just 5 or 6 weeks of just fabulous racing. So let's just have a look at Caulfield on Sunday. Holbein had been pretty good to us at the start before. Was really quite disappointing running down the track, rating 80.73 when I had it as a 98 horse. But our second pick, we had Eclair Calling to peak third up. Had him a 96 horse going in. His time there of 99 with a sectional rating of 97, right in his wheelhouse, and got us off to a nice start in the day. Tesla is a big value and an overlay exactor for us, running second at $26. We had this weir runner at $7.75, just based on his best form alone, and made up a value exactor, as I said. 95.94 has him right on the mark that we expected, which is always nice to see when the form lines just run true. Holbein, I'll have the ears out to see if there was any issues, because that was most disappointing. The second race of the day was an open handicap, and the horse, it's a bit of an enigma. We rated 5.37, and there was a winner at $6. That's Cliff Edge. Look, I've got him at 102 horse every day of the week. He'd been really quite disappointing in his 2 runs to date. And he was pretty much around the $6 mark all the way through betting. There was no great plunge or anything of that nature. And 99.101. Again, we're right up to having him peaking third up the best. He's probably got another point in him. You might find that next time out. He's a rock solid fourth up. Good horse on his day. Other highlights to come through that race: Saccone 99.97, El Passam 98.97, and Take It in Turn 96.99. That was the interesting run. Was that fourth horse, which is another one of Weir's, lightly raced, 9 starts for just the 2 wins. I just like that, and first up. So again, this is all this continuing pattern of horses that have had under 10 starts. Their improvement between spells as they grow, 2s, 3s, 4s. It can be. We always seem to find that there's a 10-point jump at some point. In horses first 5, 6 starts, they just a penny sort of drops. So I did like the closing sectionals of Take It in Turn. These are all pretty solid numbers and around where we expected them. And I think, Cliff Edge probably Group 3 horse, and there's certainly going to be a race around for him. we go to race 3, English Cup, just an open 2,000 metre race, and this one caught me a bit by surprise. Bondiga is an out-and-out staying type, the red with the black slash. You know those colours well. We can go right back through this guy's history. He is a bit of a non-winner, but he found himself over ground earlier this year with 3 wins in a row: 2,500, 2,400, 2,400. So here he was. He'd been okay over the 2,000 behind Trap for Fools to start before, but I was really looking forward to him stepping up. But he won really quite well. Bondiga 101, 103. Is a new peak for him. This guy ran third in a derby a few years back, but we know he's going to get better over ground. And again, there's country cups and Group 3 racing over a bit of ground. There'll be plenty of races for the winner. Legal 99 100. One of Hayes's. Another lightly raced type that second time out over some ground has shown some improvement. Second up from a little freshen. Again, it's a progressive 4-year-old, so this sort of improvement is certainly not out of the wheelhouse. But I thought, look, we had Prize Icon really short. I think he's a really, really good horse. And 3 wide, 4 wide, it was just not one of Ollie's Caulfield specials. And we'll just put a pencil through that, because Prized Icon is far better than a 93 horse. Be interesting to see where he goes next, because in open class there's a race for Prized Icon. Race 4 is a mare's restricted 90 race over the 1,100 metres, and it was a funny sort of race. And Our Crown Mistress had been really good to us. She's a good little mare. She had a picket fence beside her name last time. The 1,100 metres was obviously going to be a question. She'd won 4 or 5 of her in her career, and she'd won her only run at the trip. But finishing her campaign over 1,400, was she going to be super sharp over 1,100? And she just wasn't. And the $7.60 probably told the tale to some degree. We can look. There was $9 into $6.50, but the bookies and people were keen to lay after it had bottomed out, and quite disappointing. Our Crown Mistress. Grey Shadow was one of Darren Weir's. My whole market based around Our Crown Mistress finding its best. When she doesn't, the whole market really got turned on its head. But Grey Shadow is one I really wanted to have a closer look at, because it's come out here and rated 97.94. And again, with these young horses, you're looking, once you've had 9 or 10 starts, you're looking for confirmed ratings. We've got a 94 with a weight rating of 103 with 54 kilos back here in April of this year, and really nothing like it. It had looked visually good winning at Cranbourne at its previous start. Weight rating there was 88. I thought I'd been fairly friendly in allocating the 95 and the 97.94, which actually run as sort of actually where I thought the horse would be. So it was just the fact that it was 6 points behind Our Crown Mistress. So probably an error. It's an error in judgment in giving her the 100 rating first up. And so all in essence, ratings wise, there was nothing that was really missed that has jumped out at us. Fragonard 93.91. So it's only restricted mares grade. I don't think any of those are going to be bothering us in black type racing over the coming weeks. We go on to race 5. When things get a bit more black type, with the Testarossa listed 1200 metre race. Thought I was expecting Booker to keep up its solid, fresh performance. It certainly didn't do that. There'd been plenty of money for Brave Song this time in. But you can see I've got if there's 5 runners there under $9. Trekking would actually been a good result for us up in Sydney. We've had some good time in beating Spending to Win back in March of this year, but 2 wins and a second this time in. I thought the 98 was a fair assessment for trekking, but 105, 103 is a brand new high, and he really did look the complete Godolphin racehorse. Right spot, nice sprint, and run really well. And he's only a 4-year-old. That's win 5 from 13. And there's certainly races around for him. Kimono, the runner-up, is another one of Darren Weir's. This guy's a Japanese import. He was just a little bit unders for mine. His 2 runs in Oz have been pretty good. Group 2 at Flemington was rock solid, and here he was again rating 100, 101. Surely there's a race around for him. Heart of a Lion absolutely flashed home at cricket score odds of $81. I actually had him at $39, so for those that are popping in the value in their multiples, he was pretty easy to find. A 96 horse who's rated 98 101, just a couple of points higher, but this 9-year-old had a bit of a purple patch early this year with some nice numbers in South Australia, and that was an eye-catching 3rd run back as it stepped up to 1200 metres. There's probably a race around for it. Brave Song was a little bit disappointing, 97, 95 when 4th there back on the fence. Booker seemed to have every chance in the lead, and was one of the first beaten. Into the quaddy legs on Sunday, and the Guineas preludes, and as I said in my preview, that the whole race for me was around Native Soldier, and what could we expect? The time 2 back at Caulfield over the 1200, speed running of 109. With sectional rating a little bit disappointing of 96, and then we thought he might race flat, which he did. So was he going to bounce back to his best? Could he bounce back, stepping up from 1200 to 1400 metres? Well, he was outstanding, and I think it was a much better guide to where he's at. Now, the ratings here was a speed rating of 98 and a sectional rating of 98, and that's probably again, spot on was my. I had him as a 98 horse, and I just marked him down for that bounce and the doubt at the doubt of the trip. Tavisan, 101, 100 was a little bit up for this Mick Price, but certainly rated 824. A bit of value for us there. There was a lot of money for Longleaf, and 86.95. I think that I said Tavasan before. I said 100, 100. It was actually 90, 90. Yes, plenty of money for Longleaf, 86.95. Second best closing sectionals in the race. So, but look, Natives Soldier, when allowed to run, obviously gets along. Can he step up to a mile? Well, he didn't negative split, but he certainly didn't positive split either. So, my gut sort of tells me no. But again, we head to the Guineas. We've got the Autumn Sun as 112 horse. So again, we're really looking. These guys have got a lift. Race 7. I had Smart Melody at $1.26. She got out to $2.18. I think she's a pretty good mare. She remains unbeaten. She jumped on the bunny and won well. We had the overlay exacta with Thrillster running second, and that was an enormous run by Thrillster. He was 4 wide, 3 wide, while Smart Melody was getting all the favours, and he had the audacity to come. He never looked like catching her, but she just worked to the line all the way, and I think it's probably as a Guineas run, it was just as good as the winners. And I know you can have $6 her for 1,000 guineas, and I think 250, 280 for Smart Melody. But look, the thing about like Smart Melody, you've got a bit of natural early toe, and you take up this position and put herself. The question is she too buoyant to get a mile? And Jana, who finished 4th along the fence, I was expecting something last start, and I was starting to query the list of the Atlantic Jewel form from Moonee Valley, but she did bounce back, which was nice to see, to put some kudos back into that. 105, 100 for Smart Melody. So we're slightly neg split in our nature there, which again just little alarm bells as we step up. Thrillster 101, 100, and the Queenslander Eldorado Dreaming was first up after showing plenty as a 2-year-old. Won the Sires, and then ran third in the Champagne. Really hadn't done much to impress the clock, but horses, 2s to 3s, they can improve 1 to 2 points a month just with natural physical growth. And 97, 99 was something I really like to see at first run back. Shows me that she's taken the next step. We know she can get the mile. She's certainly putting herself right in the firing line again. Jana was 96, 96, which was exactly where we thought she'd be. So only had 2 in the quaddie there, and they ran 1-2. I certainly don't like cheering for favourites to get beat. And then we all cried. I put Holmesum in my quaddie. Only because of the speed in the race, and how I just thought it was gonna map in a slowly run race, and I just had him getting a fairly soft trip, so I probably got a little bit lucky. But we rated the Japanese import Tosin Basil at $7.83. I'm 106 horses every day of the week overseas, and had him $7.80 based on that. There was plenty of $101, and he really did look to win a 100 out. 104 with a section rate of 108 says that 106 was a correct assessment, and we'll be expecting that from him third up. He's obviously a galloper of some talent. Humidor, he's been really good to us. 102, 107. I've got him as a 107 horse, so those sectionals have him right up to his mark. Blair House was a little disappointing, 94, 91, and it's one of those interesting things. Grunt gets to Flemington and is a world beater and just crabs around Caulfield. Look, they went to the front here. If you're going to get a horse, if you want to see if we can get around there, well, they've given it every possible chance, and it was a beaten commodity a long way out. We want him back at headquarters, but gee, any dreams of them believing they could knock Winks off in a Cox Plate? Well, that to me went sailing out the door. I've been off Blackheart Bart for a while. He was gross unders coming through. It was a nice bullet dodged. Right at 47, it was 760. Yeah, as I said, I got lucky with Homesman by throwing it in to the quaddie. I just, maybe a weakness for Team Williams horses this time of year, and Bonneville, well, she's had issues and certainly isn't the mare she was. And we finished the day with another good thing in Lightning Bolt Special Furion. I had Furion at $1.71. There's plenty of $1.90. I haven't even actually looked at the fluctuations for Furion. 236, there's just a solid trickle of money. 236, 234 into 228, right into $1.80. So just a good solid, I think, stream of money. The guys won 5 of 6. The second was to Lucky for All, who I think goes okay, and it was nice to see Furion come out and rate 109, 108. That's 6 from 7. Proven he can run time. That was his third run back. There's another race for him. He goes good. The run of the race was probably the second horse in Best of Days. The Godolphin, lightly raced Godolphin import. That was only fourth run in Oz. Ran third in a Group 3 Cameron recently back at Newcastle. Time wasn't outrageous that day. 54 kilos up to 56 and a half. I marked him fairly half. The market agreed he was $6.50 out to $9, but he's come out and rated 108, 110 at fourth run in Oz, and in a nice open handicap. So there's certainly a race. There's certainly a race for him. Runaway ran third. I'm actually on him a few times as a 3-year-old over a bit of ground. But look, all the two here, they were 2.7 lengths on third, with the fourth horse some 4 lengths back. But I think both first and second across the line there, Furion can be followed. We head to Flemington this week. We have it's Turnbull Day, and that'll be that's Winks going around. So that'll be a bright part from next Saturday. I think we kick off the day with Melbourne's babies getting a chance with the Maribyrnong trial down the straight 1,000 metres. We've got the listed Poseidon, listed UCI over 1800 for the 3-year-olds. Group 2 Edward Manifold over the mile. So here we go with the 1,000 guineas and Oaks Dreams fillies lining up. That'll be a cracker. The Gilgai down the straight. That's a Group 2. Osborne Bills Dothraki, nom for that. First Among Equals, who hit the line really well. Bonds Away, there was plenty of money, and lightly raced Eduardo, who goes okay. That shapes as being a great little race. We've got another listed affair, the Paris Lane, obviously the Turnbull Group 1 with Winks, the Bart Cummings, 2,500 metres. This is Key Cups lead-up races. Horses Taj Mahal, Villiers, Our Venice Beach, Ventura Storm, Gmar, Haripar, Yogi, Hash Rider. That's a really good solid field there too. And we finished with the Blazer Stakes Group 2 for the mares. Really great days racing coming up, and we've got a bit of promotion coming up on the weekend with plenty of free form guides. So stay tuned, and we'll keep you informed with that as the day develops. We're right into the thick of it now, and till next week, Gavin out. Ciao.
And there you go, another little spring review complete. I hope you got something out of that and found yourself a couple little black bookers to follow over the next few weeks. If you like what we do here, check us out on our Facebook page, like the YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and head online to www.horsetorque.net and register for your free account. Best of luck punting for the week, and we'll catch up with you all next week.